Paula Carr. I'm the instructor for Project Search for Charleston County School District. And I'm here to talk to you today about Project Search because we are a new program for the Charleston County District students, specifically for exceptional education department children. So first thing to know about Project Search is that we are a collaborative operation. And I think that might confuse some people, but I want to kind of simplify it. So Project Search is a national program, and I'll go into that as well. So we are with Project Search, also the Embassy Suites Hotel, and that's who our job site is, and I'll go into that more. Of course, Charleston County. We also work with VR, Vocational Rehabilitation, DDSN, the Department of Special Needs, Accessibility, and the Charleston Area Convention Center and Visitors Bureau, all great partners to have. And I'll go into what all that means a little bit as we move forward here. So just a bit of a overview about Project Search. I'm going to move myself there. Okay, so just like an overview, this program actually started in a hospital, in Cincinnati Children's Hospital, and there's a picture of our, she's our kind of national coordinator there, Susan Rakowski. She's great. But her and a friend of hers, they got together in 1996 and realized a need for employment at this hospital. And also the fact that, we are adjusting unemployment rates of over 75% of individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So Susan and her friend really saw a connection there between the needs of that business and then also the needs of getting our young adults employed that are very employable. So there's over 600 programs, and not just in the United States. There's some in other countries as well, United Kingdom and Ireland. We have several here in the state of South Carolina, Columbia, Greenville, and there's some more, I believe, in Lexington as well. So we have several across our state as well. And as I move forward, I'm sorry, I should have mentioned this. If you have any questions, feel free to please utilize the chat bar, because once I get going, I don't stop. And then I'll try to have some time at the end for us to kind of break out and ask any questions for a discussion if needed. But just feel free to use that chat bar and that'll pop up and I'll be able to answer that for you. Otherwise, I'll just keep going. So just a couple key concepts about our program. This is a business-led collaboration with education, rehabilitation, community providers, and long-term support agencies. So that's really where vocational rehabilitation comes in. Also the Department of Disabilities and Special Needs. A big part of my job from this school to work year for our interns is getting them hooked up with those long-term support agencies and navigating that, because we all know that can be kind of confusing. Also, it's immersion and impact. So the intern, the student, the young adult does not report to their home school, though they are still coded as that is their home school. They report to the Embassy Suites Hotel, which is in North Charleston, right by the airport. If you've ever gone to a hockey game or a concert up at the Coliseum, you've seen this hotel. It's very large. And that is where the interns report every day. That is where I am currently as well. So it's a complete immersion program where we train in real work settings. So this is a low risk for employers, especially right now, because we know that the hospitality and tourism industry is taking a big hit with the pandemic. So right now, our interns are being highly valued in the work that they are doing this year, especially. And then we're also hiring interns who are a good fit. And what I really want to stress when I say good fit, because that's what we're all thinking right now as parents, we're thinking, is this right, for my child? And teachers, we're thinking the same thing. Are my students right for this program? So when we're talking about a good fit, I think what needs to be in the forefront of what we're thinking is, does this young adult want to work and have some type of independence? So that's really what, and I'm going to go into that a little bit more, but really a desire to work is what we're looking for. And we'll go into some more eligibility requirements, but that's a big one. So here's a little background about the Embassy Suites Hotel, which again is our job site. So the Embassy Suites by Hilton Charleston Area Convention Center. There's some pictures there of some of our banquet spaces and the hotel itself. This is a very large building. It's a 9-story building with over 200 rooms, and which means that the 8 to 10 interns that we accept into our program stay very busy. There's always different custodial needs around. Also, when it was our first year, pre-pandemic, we actually had a lot of banquets and conventions, some up to 4,000 people at one time. So I'll share some pictures of our kids working in those events, but definitely a very busy place. Of course, right now we're slower, but of course, you know, as things are getting better, especially with the vaccines, hoping to get busier and busier as we move forward. So I know I put a lot of pictures on this slide, but I believe pictures are worth 1,000 words, so kind of don't regret it. But these are pictures. Some of my interns have masks on. Those are the ones from this year's program. Some of them don't. The ones in the gray polos, those are from our first year, so pre-COVID. So I keep that in mind. But here's an example of some of the rotation opportunities that students have when they join the Project Search program. So housekeeping is a very popular one, especially this year. So we have different ones. A room attendant, that's an individual who goes in, cleans the room, makes the beds. And then we have house person. That is a person, you can see there, my gentleman vacuuming. That's somebody who's vacuuming those floors. That's Jack, actually, from James Island. So that's Jack, he's vacuuming. Also, we keep the windows clean, do a lot of dusting, other things there. They also go in and clean out rooms after the guests leave and remove all those dirty linens. As you can see, Sailor, who's from Wando High School up there in the gray pants, doing that. Also, public area attendant. This person would be somebody who would be attending the first floor of the hotel, cleaning the public areas such as the pool area, the fitness center, elevators, in different areas as that. You can see Jocelyn from Stahl High School with her red mask there in the center with her broom, doing that role. And then also the laundry is a very hustle and bustle department as well. Tatiana, who's right in the middle, this is our very large press machine that we press all our linens. And so she's rolling pillowcases through right now. And then at the bottom, you can also see in her jean jacket there, Deja from North Charleston and also Miranda from North Charleston, getting some sheets ready to be pressed as well. So that's always a busy department. This year, I will say the hotel has not offered any food and beverage positions due to COVID. So hopefully, again, we'll see how things transpire, of course, in the next few months, like everybody is. But there is an opportunity, hopefully, for a food and beverage placements next year. We have restaurant server, where you see Jeanette from School of the Arts. She's holding a big tray there. She was very proud of herself holding that, learning how to hold large trays. And then Brandon from West Ashley High School, washing the dishes, cleaning out those dishes after a large banquet event. And so we have a lot of areas in food and beverage as well. And then also guest services, which is the front desk, which you can see Cameron and down there at the bottom. And then engineering, which Cameron also does. And he is changing out air filters in the guest rooms. So all that to say, we have a lot of roles here, a lot of opportunities for your child or your student to explore here at our hotel. So here's what a day in the life of a Project Search intern really looks like. They report at 8:30 every morning to the hotel. And then we go right into our departments and working in our departments because there's such a high need for us in the morning with checkouts and different things with the breakfast comp area. So we start right away with work for an hour and a half. We return back to what we call the training room, which is just really a fancy word for our classroom. And we have an employability skills class, which is, of course, very similar to that career readiness class that most students are having in their high schools right now, where we go over budgeting, interpersonal social skills, resumes is what we're actually working on right now, interview skills, and we just work on those employability skills in the classroom area. And then we go to lunch at 11:30, and then we report right back to our departments at noon until 2:30. And then we come back to the training room, we kind of wrap up our day and then depart at 3 o'clock. So that is 4 hours where the young adult is working a day, an hour and a half where they're in the classroom, and then that 30 minutes is just kind of a cool down period as well. And I'll go into different transportation options, but typically this was our schedule for the first year. I don't foresee it changing. It's worked for us for a couple. So I'm going to take a breather here, sip my coffee, and let you guys watch this. This is a video that Charleston County School District put together of our first year students. So this was pre-COVID. Right here, but it just kind of gives you guys a little insight to our program. You get to hear from our first year interns, as well as our transition coordinator, Mary Stahl, and our business liaison here at the hotel, Hope Hudson.
Fresh battery. Charleston County School District is committed to providing every student with opportunities that open doors for college or a career pathway. The Department of Exceptional Children is delivering on that commitment thanks to a partnership with Embassy Suites North Charleston through Project Search. Project Search is a community collaboration between a school district, state agencies, nonprofit organizations, and a host business that provides students with skills that prepare them for the workforce.
Not only could they be offered a job to work at this hotel and a job that they've already spent a majority of a year training for, they're also just gaining really, really important job skills that can be transferred into other areas as well.
Paula Carr is the instructor for this group of 8 students who report to Embassy Suites every morning. They are learning about a variety of jobs through their internships, including food preparation, guest services, and maintenance.
I find someone to work with. There's always people around, and we do things different every day. It's the maintenance. There's a lot of problems, and we have to fix them.
In the mornings, I'm in a public area. That means I clean up around, vacuum, and I wash the windows.
At this age, they want to make a difference and want to do something that has a purpose, and they really are getting that sense with participating in the program.
It's not just about the physical skills. Project Search is teaching the students how to be successful in a professional environment.
It's really an amazing opportunity for the students, and seeing them on their different internship rotations and really being a part of the hotel's climate and culture here. They're really seen as members of the full team here at the hotel.
The students aren't employed with us when they leave the program. They'll have some transferable skills to take into the workforce at other hotels in the area, which we have plenty of, or even other facilities.
The students' presence here at Embassy Suites is also benefiting the employees of the hotel. You see, not only do they have extra sets of hands to help them with their tasks, but they're improving on their mentoring skills.
So to see our managers adapting with the students and finding different job tasks and things that they don't normally think about day in and day out, that they're kind of thinking out of the box as well.
The employees at the Embassy Suites Hotel are finding a great appreciation for our interns and the quality of work that they're able to provide here at the hotel. They are also learning from our interns, as well as our interns are certainly learning a lot from the employees as they transition through their internship experiences.
Based on the feedback from the employees, the students are making positive contributions as well.
I have heard of team members fighting over which intern they wanted to work with on which day, so that's kind of enjoyable to hear that kind of banter going on with our team members.
They're big cheerleaders for the students. they understand that, yes, they're different, but I think what's happening now is they're identifying more similarities than I think they initially thought they were going to as well.
The program is actually finishing up their first rotation of responsibilities this fall. So that means new opportunities are coming soon.
I might be doing the front desk. They are looking into what kind of things I can do up there. So kind of seeing all my options out, and then I'll decide, what I want to do going forward.
All I like about it is it's like meeting new people and like learning new skills.
In North Charleston, for the stories of CCSD, I'm Andy Pruitt.
Sorry, trying to get out of this. I'm not so Zoom savvy. All right, there we go. So that was just a little, just a pretty brief video of, again, our first year and different things that our interns got to do. There's actually some more videos I would also like to share. These are videos from the interns specifically that I took while they're in their departments working. And these are really fun. We actually use these videos for a culminative activity we do at the end of their time here and their electronic portfolio that we actually do send out to employers. And this is something that we've gotten great feedback on. So I'm going to kind of show you here, again, kind of the moving parts of what some of our interns are doing here. So again, this is Tatiana. She is, as you can see, taking those pillowcases and rolling them through. They're going to come back out from the bottom, and she counts them and then folds them. So that's just a little snippet from our laundry department and what they do there on that press. And then there's also lots of towels to fold, as you can imagine, at a hotel. So here's Nikki DeWitt from our first year. She's folding a towel. Of course, this is not the way you and I fold our towels at home. So it can be a bit tricky, but this is just an example of that. We added some background music to this for her portfolio. So again, I think just what's great about all that is that our interns, because they have so many different rotations and departments, they really get to explore, if they like something, if they didn't like something, which is, again, part of that journey to find that employability that we're looking for. Here's also a picture. We do work in the convention area as well, not just the hotel. So here is Brandon. He is using an industrial vacuum to clean that area. So just some little snippets there again of what our interns are doing. So our program is a bit difficult to explain with all our partners and with our specialized work model. However, the goal is very simple, and the goal is 100% employment for all of our intern graduates. So the goal is employment, and we're talking about competitive employment as well in our community. So here's a few pictures of some of our interns who are already employed at different places in our community from last year. Michael's Barkery, that is a place in Daniel Island that has been really receptive and inclusive to our interns because we've had so many that want to work with dogs and animals. And we have Brandon. He's now working at a light fixture store as in custodial services there. So again, when we're looking for that right intern, when we're thinking about that, we really want someone who has that desire to go to work, because at the end of the year, when they're presented with that job offer, we definitely want them to say yes and be excited. So I'm going to go through kind of a little bit of a breakdown on what the year looks like and what our training program format is. So we are a 1-year school to work program for young adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So we follow the Charleston County School District calendar. We are 1 year, so the intern would hopefully have gained employment and leave after that year. The goal is competitive employment, and the reason we use competitive employment at Project Search is because we're looking, when we're getting job offers and negotiating those, we're looking for more than a minimum wage offer, and we're looking for at least 16 hours per week. So I know a lot of parents kind of get concerned about that, because I know different benefits are received for different families, but we also offer benefits counseling through vocational rehabilitation, so they can navigate all those as well, because we just want, really good offers, really strong job offers for our interns once they're done. Again, it's a total workplace immersion. They're working, at the hotel. I mean, I have students right now working, on the 9th floor. I have some in the laundry. I have some cleaning the pool area. They are working in the hotel with the hotel employees, which is really, really fun to see. Their intern rotations are really to encourage that career exploration. We know that these are young adults, and just like typical young adults, they're not sure what they want to do. And so really these rotations and moving in and out of these rotations give them that opportunity to, maybe they don't want to work at a hotel, and that's fine, but they'll find hopefully things about them where they can say, do I work really well with others? Or do I like to work better on my own? Do I like to move around, or do I like to stay in one department? Do I like to do different tasks, or do I like to do the same task? And it really allows, and I encourage that self-awareness for each individual, so they can kind of ask themselves those questions to determine that. So about our internship rotations, when we talk about that, what I mean is we have what's called a first internship and a second internship, and I'm really referring over to this little pie model here. So each internship is 10 weeks. So while a typical high school is, let's say, on a semester program, we're on pretty much a trimester program where we have an orientation period when they first come in to acclimate them, but then we go right into their first internship where they are for 10 weeks. We come back into the training room for a week, then we go back out to our second internship. Currently, my students have 3 weeks left in their second internship rotations. And then our third internship rotation, which typically starts in March, we actually at that point start entertaining job offers. So if the hotel is interested in hiring an individual, we present that to the individual and the parent, and we negotiate that. Some interns are definitely going to stay till June and finish out the entire program, but some families do decide, they do get job offers in the community and possibly the hotel. So they do actually agree to move on to that paid employment. And of course, that means they still complete the program and get their certificate and everything. So just to kind of break down how we do our internship rotations. And then, of course, we have a customized job search assistant, and that really is helpful that's really helped from the vocational rehabilitation services and those long-term providers. Marquita Murdaugh, who works with VR, she is our project search counselor. And kind of a bit of the program description here as well. So again, a 1 school year or 9 months of an adult program. What we are looking for is we are looking to accept 8 to 10 interns with a variety of intellectual developmental abilities. So with this program, what your child or student will receive is services from a CCSD instructor, a special education instructor. That's me, Paula Carr. And then, of course, we also have a Voc Rehab job skills trainer that is on site with me every day. So currently, while I'm here doing this lesson, she's out there working with them. So that's Tiffany. She actually moved on, but Miss Joan also fills in and helps right now too. But those are some of our VR supports that also help with our students, our interns, excuse me. So again, they're immersed in the business culture. These rotations are unpaid internships. So just to, when I talk to families, I just want to stress that this is an unpaid internship. So of course the goal is to get them paid in the end, but just to keep that in mind. And there is continual feedback, not only to the intern, but also to the family. We hold several employment planning meetings and twice every rotation. So there is a lot of family communication. I talk with probably each of my family at least either once a week or once every 2 weeks as well. So again, the outcome is the employment in the community. So hopefully what I've kind of described so far, perhaps, when you're thinking of your own child or you're thinking of some students that that you're thinking about for the program, here's the eligibility criteria to also keep in mind. So the individual must be 18 to 21 years old. So that 21st birthday, again, must be after September 1st. So they basically must be eligible to come back to Charleston County, to Charleston County School District to receive services for the program. Their last year of school eligibility for the high school program. So what we're saying there is that we really want this to be the last year for that individual, because we don't want them to come to the program and then go back to their high school. We want them to go from the program and then go to work. We're looking to make sure that we are eligible for services from the South Carolina Department of Voc Rehab and or the Department of Disabilities and Special Needs. Typically, we already have individuals set up with Voc Rehab, but the Department of Disabilities is not always in place. And of course, that is something I am very willing to work with parents and families with, but those are things that those are discussions that will be talked about. Appropriate hygiene, social and communication skills are also things we would be looking for. Again, nobody's perfect. We're not looking for perfect individuals here. We know that's not, realistic, and that's not really what we want. But we are looking basically for the ability to take direction and change that behavior and improve in areas. Also, ability to access public transportation if needed. This is also a big topic of discussion. We do not provide transportation to the hotel. So that has kind of been a problem in the past, but really what's been our saving grace is Telluride. This is a public transportation service from CARTA that they offer for persons with disabilities. And we also help apply for that. I have not had a student that has been denied this. So we help with that application process, and it is a free service that our individuals get. It is a door-to-door transportation service. So if, let's say, there are some parts of Mount Pleasant where I think there is a community meeting place that the parent has to go to, but there is an option for public transportation there. Or the individual would need to be transported taken back and forth to the hotel from a parent or family member. An ability to pass the drug screen and background check. And again, just what I want to hammer home here is that desire to work. So from here, our selection process includes the following. We have sent out applications to all of the eligible students that we got from the different high schools. Don't think we got any from any charter schools, but we did get some from a lot of high schools. And we've sent off packets from our district office with an application, also with the Zoom flyer, and then a parent letter. If you did not receive an application for your eligible student or child, please email me or let me know at the end of this, and I will make sure that you get one. Those are due by Friday, March 26th. Also, it's a pretty straightforward application, but also the student must attend a skills assessment interview day. And we are holding that in person at the Embassy Suites Hotel on April 15th. A parent or guardian is encouraged to come with a student for the assessment, but it's not mandatory. And our selection committee, Project Search, will review the applications, all the students, and will send out acceptance letters by the end of April and update families on that. So that was a lot. Really is two things. Just make sure we have that application by March 26th. That's the easy part. But the skills assessment day is different. Like I said, that's April 15th. And this is something new that most aren't familiar with. So again, it's taking place here at the Embassy Suites Hotel in the Convention Center area, where we have lots of space to physically distance. And there's two things that happen on this skills assessment day. And I always tell students and parents, there's one you can practice for and the other you cannot. So here's what we can't really practice for, but a part that's going to happen. The applicant will rotate through various workstations, which are very similar to centers in a classroom. And these centers are task related to customer service, cleaning, nutritional services, laundry services. You know, we may be asked to vacuum, fold a towel, make a smoothie even. And so really the goal for this part, this is not something that you could practice at home with your child, but really what we're looking for, our assessors are really looking to see how that young adult reacts to certain situations. And, you know, if they don't know how to do something, do they know to ask for help? How are they reacting? How are they handling that, you know, frustration that could happen in the workplace, which we all know happens. So there's no need to practice or prepare for this section of the assessment. We're not really expecting an individual to come in and fold the towel the right way the first time. Again, we're seeing how they take those directives, interact with that supervisor, and react to the situations, really is what we're looking for there, and communication. And the second part, they absolutely can practice for, and I hope they already are as adults, but the applicants will participate in an interview, and they will just be asked questions by our Project Search representatives. The questions will relate to work ethic, attendance, future goals, social skills, just typical, you know, tell us about yourself, why do you want to be a part of the program? And those are, of course, questions, typical interview questions that the applicant could certainly prepare for. So again, about the skills assessment day, are parents required to participate? No, they are not required. But at Project Search, we do believe students who have a network of support achieve better employment outcomes. Parents play a vital role in supporting our interns, and we strongly encourage them to attend the skills assessment day. We will have a family holding room, and our transition coordinator, Mary Stahl, will be there answering any questions that families have while that young adult is being assessed. And this assessment will really take no longer than 1 to 2 hours to complete. And all applicants, and sometimes we give an entire school a time frame, they will have scheduled appointment times. And I don't really know how each high school individually is handling transportation right now, but I know the first year we did have schools help with the transportation as well and getting applicants here. And so now we're getting into really the kind of the frequently asked questions part of our presentation. So just to go over some, you know, quick little questions that I typically get is the school calendar schedule that the interns follow. So very easy. We follow the school year of the Charleston District calendar, academic calendar, which just got approved. So when we had President's Day, we had President's Day off. When there's an early release, we also have an early release. We had an e-learning day as well yesterday. So we follow that calendar to a T for what we're hoping for ease of use by the parent. What are the daily hours? So the interns are expected to report to the hotel every day. at their job placement site from 8:30 to 3 p.m. each workday. Of course, this schedule is subject to modification, but I really, like I mentioned before, I don't foresee that it's really worked for us these last 2 years. So 8:30 to 3 p.m. are the working hours there, Monday through Friday. How do student interns get to Project Search every day? So I know I really already talked about the Telluride option for public transportation, but we don't provide, the school district does not provide the transportation. So this is something that, you know, I'm very willing to help families and teachers work through and problem solve. Interns are responsible for their own transportation, either personal or public. Voc Rehab and CCSD, we can work to provide travel training before the program begins. And it's strongly recommended that interns use this year as a transition year to learn to navigate their community, whether that is, you know, with a parent, family member, or learning to navigate that public transportation system with Telluride and calling for those reservations regularly. So really what this is that this is that year from school to work, where we're really getting used to going to work every day, where we're really kind of learning how am I going to get to work someday? You know, we can't always rely on that school bus. So this is that year to really transition from that. Okay, so I had a chat pop up. All right, do students attend the school at all? No. Thank you for that question, Ms. Mumber. No, they actually do not go back to their home school. Now, I will say I did have the first year before all the proms got canceled. Some of my students wanted to go to that because they will still be coded as Charleston County District students at that home school. They can, of course, they have every right to attend those football games and, you know, extracurricular activities that happen at their high school, because I'm sure, you know, some of our interns really miss their friends at those high schools. But no, they would report to the hotel. They would report to the Embassy Suites Hotel on International Boulevard, right here by the North Charleston area airport. So again, I that is a frequent question I get, and I know it's a little confusing that they're still a Charleston County District student but reporting here, but this is our job site, and this is where they come. So will interns still be considered a student at their current school district? Yes. So interns will still be considered, and this is a lot of teachers get confused about this as well. Interns will still be considered students at Charleston County School District. They will still continue to have an IEP. They will continue, and I do the progress monitoring with them. They will continue to get those progress reports. But I do all of the attendance, and I also do all of their case manager paperwork of progress monitoring and that IEP. What do students get at the end? Is it aligned to the South Carolina? Yes. So thank you for that question as well, Ms. Finley. The question was, sorry, let me repeat that because you stated it so well. But yes, it is aligned. So they're earning their high school credential, yes, but they're also earning a completion certificate of the Project Search program. So on top of that OCS certificate, they're also getting the internship, the Project Search internship completion as well. So how I would think about it is, if your student or your child gets accepted into the program, think that this is their last year of high school. You know, they should go to the graduation. They should do all those graduation, take their senior pictures and do all of that, because really they're leaving that environment and coming to our work environment. And we have our own graduation here as well. So again, think about them. They're not a high school student anymore, but they're an intern in a work environment while also still a Charleston County District student. So I have a video here. It's not too long, so hopefully if you guys come up with any more questions while this is going, I'll take this off of my screen share and we can hold that discussion if there's any more, hopefully I cleared a lot of that up. But here's
We
this
did
is
not know.
a parent from another site, and she's just kind of talking about their experience as from the parent's perspective of
That
Project
Natalie
Search.
was special needs until she went to kindergarten. I will never forget my husband and I sitting in the principal's office, and they said, your child has a disability. This is my little girl. What is her future going to be? Is she going to be able to work? Is she going to be able to live on her own? What's going to happen to her when my husband and I aren't around? There were just so many uncertainties. And at that point is when I said, I need to do everything I can to give her the skills to try and live on her own.
Project Search is a one-year high school transition program that kids with disabilities can apply to. We put them through 3 rotations, and we try to hopefully get them hired. Natalie was a go-getter from the start. We just showed Natalie the direction she had to take, the behavior she had to have, and she just went with it.
She told the staff that I think I'm ready to ride the bus, but it's my mother that doesn't think I'm ready to ride the bus. And she was right. I wasn't sure if I felt comfortable with her coming into town every day.
I guess that's the scary thing, getting out of mom and dad's house and really growing up.
Seeing her standing there at the bus, waving the bus down, how she was taught, and seeing the independence that she has now is just unbelievable.
I set my alarm clock for 6:20 and get up, get breakfast, and wait for my bus. And I think everything's going to be fine.
Natalie works in same-day surgery and does stocking, and she does the pharmacy runs. The OR couldn't happen without Natalie doing her job, and it's all work. It's no play. It's all business.
Yes, I work very hard.
Project Search made her a mature, hardworking, appreciative adult. And looking at this magnificent young woman that she's become is just, it's amazing.
UPMC proudly supports Project Search, helping young adults with disabilities find their place in the community.
I knew she was going to be okay the day that I saw her walk in here in her scrubs. I just thought, wow, I have nothing to worry about. It's like a big sigh. You know, you can just let it out and say, she's going to be fine.
Changing lives every day. UPMC.
So that was really that was from a Project Search. A lot of Project Searches they do, they're through hospitals. So that was an example of one there. But I thought that was just a great family perspective. This is such an interesting year because, you know, our interns are, you know, they're coming from high school into a work environment. They are, they're kind of in their little shells, but this is just definitely the year that you just see so much independence grow from them. So if again, you're thinking of your own child or you're thinking of some students, you know, think about, are they ready? Do they want to work? But do they just need that extra year of support to get there, to learn about how to access their community a bit more, and, you know, to learn those work skills that really are, you know, hard to teach unless you were in that work environment. So that's all I have for my presentation right now. So if there are any other questions, I would love to answer those for you guys. Also, you should have my emails at this point. So of course, if there's a question that comes up later, please feel free to reach out to me as well.